My name is Elizabeth Davenport, and I am recording this video for my Interpersonal Communications class. This is December 3rd, 2018, and this video is going to be about what it was like going 24 hours with no digital communications. And for me, that's a very frustrating thing because I live off-grid in the middle of nowhere. The closest paved road to my house is about 20 to 30 miles away. In any direction. That being said, digital communication is how my whole life goes around. It's how I stay in contact with my children's teachers, with my job, with my family. When we're out here on the property, it is how we do a lot of entertainment. We have Wi-Fi, so I can do school, and so that we can have things like Netflix or video games of that nature. I use digital communication for Flipboard, for Facebook, for Kindle reading, all kinds of different things so that I can stay up to date with the world and what's going on. Now, during my digital communications fast, I went a full 24 hours without using my phone, which is very hard for me. If you ask my boyfriend, my phone is my other boyfriend. So essentially, he had to hold on to my phone for me to make it so I was not tempted to go ahead and cheat. During that 24 hours, I had a sick kid. I had car troubles. I had a manager at my job quit because of another whole lack of communication with things going on at my place of employment. And it made it difficult for me to not be able to respond to them, to be available to help out with certain things. Jason, my boyfriend, had to handle getting a hold of people to figure out stuff with the van, get a hold of the school to make sure that we were able to call my son in sick, and things of that nature are stuff that I normally do. I rely heavily on my ability to communicate digitally via social media, email, text message, phone call, etc. Now, I would say that the biggest issue I had would be course principal managing my emotions. So because it was very frustrating, I felt completely detached from the world and like I wasn't able to do what I would normally do. It made me frustrated and very angry. The other thing is it made me feel anxious, not having the attachment to my phone that I would normally have, not being able to check my emails, find out what's going on in the world around me with friends, family on social media, or even in the news with Flipboard or other things like that. Also, I would like to note that it made me rely heavily on nonverbal communication with my boyfriend. As things were happening, he kind of had to just pick up the slack, knowing that I wasn't able to. And that was something we kind of communicated non-verbally. Instead of him driving, I was driving, and he was able to handle phone things and stuff of that nature. And it was kind of just an understood thing. And he was able to understand my frustration, so he tried to not make me feel badly about the fact that I was doing this for my school project. The other course principle, besides managing emotions and nonverbal communication, that I want to touch on is actively listening. Because at the end of the day, when we finally had everything all figured out, it comes down to sitting with my family, sitting with my children, asking how their day is going. And instead of having a distraction like my phone or the TV to prevent me from doing what it is I would normally do while I'm sitting there talking to them about the rest of their day, I was more actively engaged with them, as well as with my boyfriend, and how we kind of handled the day without me having my phone. It was quite an adventure, but ultimately it made me realize even more so how dependent I am, not just as a luxury, but also as a necessity for me to be able to function with the life that we choose, living out here in the middle of nowhere off grid and having to work an hour away. The kids go to school an hour away. I realized that if I didn't have my social media outlets like Facebook to keep in contact with people, email, text message, I would not be able to live the life that we have chosen for ourselves. And that's a huge deal for us. Thank you, Professor Galligan, for this opportunity and being able to recognize these things. And I appreciate everybody for listening. Thanks.